everyone, and this is AnnyMay, and I'm going to talk about everyone's favorite anime. Well, at least one of my favorite animes. What I want to talk about today is Fushigi Yuugi. It's an old anime. Well, not necessarily really old, but it is kind of old. And, well, I consider it to be really good, even though some people might be like, oh, it's repetitive, and, you know, she gets into trouble all the time, always gets saved. But, you know, it's still really good. The anime is about this girl who goes into this book. Well, it's sort of like, it's a magic thing, I guess. Fantasy type anime. And she goes into this book and she meets up with a few people and they tell her that she's the priestess because she's from another world, which is not theirs. And she accepts to be the priestess in order to save their city and whatever. And her best friend ends up going in the book with her at one point, which is, I think, at the first point. Yeah, she does. And then she gets out of the book somehow, and she's reading it while Miyaka is roaming around and everything. But yeah, and what she's trying to do is she's trying to find all the seven celestial stars, which is the warriors that protect the priestess in order to fulfill her goal, I guess. But yeah, and all these people have certain abilities that most people don't. And she ends up finding 4 of them in maybe the first, no, she finds 3 in the first 8 episodes. And then eventually she gets homesick and she goes back home. And then after she goes back home, she's like, I want to go back in the book because I miss everybody, because she falls in love with one of the main characters, Tamahome, which happens to be, I guess, it's the guy who saves her in the first part if you watch the anime, and if you haven't, well then, spoiler alert, woo. Anyway, like I was saying, she goes back in the book, because she was looking for Yui, and also because she missed everybody. Yui happens to be her best friend, but when she goes back, she finds out she's only been gone for hours, but she goes back, and everybody's like, she's been gone for 3 months. And she was like, what the heck? But yeah, she looks for Yui and everything, and Yui happens to be in the enemy base, or, I can't remember what the name of the place is called. It's been so long since I've watched this anime, but yeah. She ends up being in the enemy place of her god's hometown. And she goes to save her, but Yui, is in love with Tamahome also, because whatever Miyaka felt in the book while Yui was reading it, that's what happened to her. Miyaka fell into a pond, and Yui, while she's reading the book, got all wet, and Miyaka had a wound on her leg, and Yui was bleeding. So yeah. And Yui fell in love with Tamahome as well with Miyaka, since, you know, weird stuff happens like that in anime. And come to find out, Yui heard Miyaka say that she only wanted to go back for Tamahome, not for Yui, which isn't true. Miyaka just said that to Tamahome, I guess, because it fit the mood, because Tamahome basically confessed to her. Yeah. So yeah, Yui hates her at that point and betrays her, and Miyaka's goal now is to get all the wishes, all the celestial warriors, and make the 3 wishes when she becomes a priestess, so that way she can get her best friend back and save the world. Well, not the world, more like, you know, that book world. And they run into many problems and all this, and Yui's feeling, you know, she hates Miyaka, but then she cares about her and all this, and Miyaka really loves Tamahome, and it's basically a love story, I guess, because there's more romance in it than action, which I'm glad about, because I'm not a big fan of action animes, because I can never get into them, but I do watch them. But yeah, it's more of a shoujo than anything. And Miyaka and Tamahome are the main characters that fall in love with each other. And there are a few other characters in the anime that fall in love with Miyaka. I think there's 2 others, I guess? Yeah, no, there's 3. But it's really good. It starts out really good. and in the middle it gets really repetitive because she gets in trouble a lot and people have to go save her because she feels bad about them following her even though she's the priestess and they're supposed to protect her. And then towards the end it gets kind of sad because a few of the, well, I'm not gonna spoil it because you guys would be all like, whoa, what the heck, we didn't want to know that. But let me just tell you that a few people die. And those people that die, you're gonna be all like, what the fuck? So, yeah. And then at the end, everything is resolved. And after the anime, there were a few OVAs that were made, and those OVAs were pretty good. It's about Miyaka going into high school, because in the anime she's in middle school, last year in middle school. In OVA, she's in high school first year, and she has to somehow go back into the book to save Yui, and then she's got to go back into the book to save Tamahome, because apparently he lost all of his memories, so that way he can be with Miyaka. But, yeah, it's really, really good, and I think you guys would like it. My favorite character in the anime, for, let's just say, for the 7 Celestial Warriors, for Miyaka, would probably have to be Noriko. Noriko is pretty funny. I love him to death. At first I thought Noriko was a girl, but come to find out that Noriko happens to be a boy. And I know you guys are probably like, you don't find that out until the 4th episode, but you know what? I really don't care. You're gonna find that out anyway. I mean, come on. Usually the Celestial Warriors are all guys, even though in Genbu Kaden there's only one girl. But, you know, there has to be a girl. Oh, and also in this area there's only one girl too. But there has to be a girl. Noriko happens to be the gay guy who loves everybody. But yeah, Noriko is pretty cool. I love Tusky also. Tusky's really funny because he really doesn't like Tamahome. Because his first impression of Tamahome was like, wow, what a fucking jerk. Yeah, but my least favorite character in the whole thing, which I know this is kind of cliche, but my least favorite character is the bad guy, which is Nakago. Nakago is a jerk. He tricks everyone. I know he has a sad backstory, which you'll find out later in the anime. Maybe in episode like 52, maybe the last episode, I'm not sure. But yeah, he has a bad background and he hates everyone and he wants to become lord of everyone, but you know what? He can get over himself. Still, I just hate him. I hate him, guys. When you watch the anime and you meet him, you're going like, oh, what a cool guy. Because I thought he was pretty cool at first, too. Until you come to find out that he's an evil bastard and everyone fucking hates him. And, yeah. So, I would really, really recommend this to you guys because Fushigi Yuugi is pretty good. No matter if it's old or not. I mean, because I've never really liked those old animes. Because, you know, they're poorly drawn and it's so stupid the way they do things, but this one was pretty good. Because I'm not sure. My favorite episode, though, has to be when you first meet Tusky. Because the way him and Miyaka, like, interact with each other was so hilarious. And I was just like, wow. I, like, laughed out loud. I lolled through the whole anime. Because at the most serious points of the anime, they make a joke. And it's like, really, guys? Really? You can't be serious for once. Well, anyway. That was my thing for Fushigi Yuugi. My discussion for Fushigi Yuugi. It's a great anime. The manga is pretty good, too. I mean, they do take out a few things because they didn't want to show the girl naked all the time because she does happen to be naked a lot in the manga. But yeah, overall it was really good. The only parts, if you don't like it, if a girl's about to be raped or anything in animes, then I don't suggest watching it because Miyaka and Yui end up you just gotta watch it. Okay, well, that's it, everybody. So see you next time. I hope that everybody liked this, because I'm going to make more no matter what I'm going to make more if you don't like it or not. So, goodbye!